Okay, it's Jeanette, Crafty Dork, and here with this month's challenge. It's May for Paper Craft Possibilities Crazy Crafters. Now, I've changed it a little bit this month, just to add a bit of interest. There's going to be 10 prompts. You've got to use them all. You may gesso the base of your what you're working on. So I've gessoed the base of my paper. The inspirations have come from, now I'm not sure if I'll say this right, the Mary Atelier, and she has got some of her inspiration through Aunt Beck's Creations. And Aunt Beck's Creations, she does 10 prompts, and she also does the Dirty Dozen. And I think it was last year or a few years ago. So anyway, so that's where I got my inspiration. I was laying in bed last night doing it while Pete was trying to snore, watching them all. So what I'm going to suggest, you've got 10 prompts. Scrapbook paper, scraps of book paper, red paint with a sponge, stencil with white, bubble wrap with black paint, then there's lines in blue, copper dots, scribble with a permanent marker, spray. Now I guess you could use any sort of spray. I've got some Tattered Angels and bits here that I'm going to use, I think. Got no idea where I'm heading. Black circles, and then add a focal point. And at this stage, I've just got this book. It's Wildflowers of Western Australia, and hopefully something out of there will go. Now, also on Mary's page, she had, by altering the order of the prompts, you can keep the challenge as a spontaneous art game. Now, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be bad enough reading them straight out and doing them for me. But you guys out there who are artists, please show us. You know, put them into a pot and pull them out one at a time. That's the sort of thing that Mary has been doing. So I've gessoed my paper, and the first thing is scraps of paper. So I've basically got a couple of book pages. I've got a little box here, and I'm not sure if there is any book pages in here. I think they're the same as the ones I've got. That's a bit of music paper. That's from a book, isn't it? So I don't want to get too... because this is the base, which will be covered right up. So, oh, there's a bit of... Okay, so let's go. So basically this is for texture. Yeah, where's my book? Yeah, so when I was thinking about this month, I thought, shall I do something a little bit different? Up the ante or down the ante, make it a little bit easier. It might be harder. This way, you know, you've got a few colours there to start with. So you don't have to really worry about what colours you're going to use. And you know, what to do with those colours is already there as well. So let's see how it turns out, I guess. Hey, we can only try it, and if you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know, because we can always do something else and make it a little bit more interesting. As I was watching Mary, she's got this fabulous way of using a shower scraper. She gets it and she just squirts her paint all over the page. Then she just gets the shower scraper and moves it all over the page, and that it's fabulous because she does a lot of like cutting up the art pieces and making them into, say, ATC cards or postcards. One of the prompts that she used, she actually, and you know, I'm going to actually use my collage medium because I think that glue, once everything gets wet, is going to lift everything up. So we might just do that. I think it would be. So I'm not worrying about whether they're up in the right way or down or whatever. Like I said, I'm no artist, but I just thoroughly enjoy playing, and I think that's the most important thing. Get out there and have a go. Play around and see what we can do. And this time with the stencils, I've had a whole load of my 12 by 12 stencils that I've hardly ever used, and I thought, seeing I'm doing a larger sheet, this is a from a just a sketch pad really, so I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we'll see. We will see. I was going to use my watercolour paper, and then I thought, oh well, that's a bit, I suppose it would have been all right, but yeah, so I just want a bit of texture. And then I might even cut these up and use them as journaling cards. We'll see what they turn out like first, hey? Might be a waste of energy. Now I'll just pop a couple of lighter pieces down. I don't think there's any bad words in here. So just feel, like I said, a bit of texture on the back. Goodness knows how long it will take, but when I dry it, I will turn the video off so that it won't take quite as long to do. I think that'll do. Don't need a lot. Okay, so there's my number one, my book page down. I'll dry it off and I'll be back. Okay, now the next one is red paint with a sponge. So I've got this sponge. I've also got one of these little sea spongy things. You could use makeup sponge. I've got these little ones that I've had in for my, actually that one's probably a bit better. Yes, I used to put labels on them to what colour they were. So red. And the red I'm using is Barn Door, and it's in my Distress Paint acrylic daubers, because I'm just not using the daubers much. I suppose I could use the dauber because that's a bit like a sponge, isn't it? And do what the kids do. I wonder if it, I don't know if it'll work. But the kids love to splat them, but it's not going to. No, oh, no. We'll do it the other way. So I'm just going to, because I want to cover the whole lot. Ooh. Okay, now I'll start off with this, and I've put masking tape around the edges so I can get a bit of a border, and so as you see, the paper has gone. You can just see it through, which is great. It's sort of off into the background. So that's my red paint. And that was painless, wasn't it? And I guess if we wanted a bit of texture onto that, you could use your sponge and just take a bit off. But it's not really. If I put it on with the, oh yeah, some of it's coming off. But just putting a bit of light and shade on there, I suppose. I just realised I didn't. Yeah, that is. It's just giving it a little bit of different texture. And I've put the piece of paper that I'm using onto a piece of cardstock. Oh, I should have put gloves on. Okay, just a sec. We'll dry that off and I'll be back. You'll be sick of that soon. Okay, so that's all dried off now, and it's dulled down a little bit, but not a lot. It's a red. So these are some of the stencils I've got, and the bigger ones. I did that one on the couple of doilies, but I think I might just, and that one's lovely, the wood grain, as is that one. But what I might do is this crackle, I think, and we'll see how we go with that. So this is in white. Okay. Let's see how we go. Stencil in white, and again I've got some, there's none in that, let's throw it out. Okay, where's the other white? Might have to use this one. I haven't even opened it yet. It's been sitting there for a long time, so this is getting me to use some of the paints. This is white linen. It's a Ranger blendable acrylic ink for creative journaling and more. Well, that's just right up our alley, isn't it? So let's see how that goes. And I think I'll use a pair of gloves to start with this time. I might use a spatula. I've got my little scraper there that I use, so I can always get that cleaner off. You could use a credit card. I've also got this thing, but I did use it. It's a, what's it called? Tradesman grouter. I saw it when Peter was at the Mitre 10, and I was looking at things and thinking, now, could I use them for crafts? And I thought I could probably use that to go over. But I think we'll just leave it at this for a minute. So we'll just see how we go. And I'll pop that right to the edge. You can sort of see through. I guess I could also use the sponge too. But I thought I usually use a sponge, and we'll see how this goes. It might make a big mess underneath, but we will try. We'll go and see what happens. You know, if I just put that over there, and then I could probably use my fingers to do a bit more of it. It's fairly thin. It's nice and okay, so now I'm just going to go get that paint off there. That's I think it's probably better if I'd use my finger right from the beginning, to be honest. Okay, I've got this little bit over this side to do as well. Well, it's gone through a bit. It's not crisp, is it? So, but hey, I don't want it to be perfect, do I? So and if I'd used the sponge, it would have been, you know, just dabbing it on. But it's all about trying different things too. So I'm happy to try different, and if it doesn't work out, I don't do it next time like this. Okay, it's not bad. I think I'd better turn off and, you know what, dry it again. Okay, I'm back. Took forever to dry. But what I did was do a bit of Auntie May's and popped my greaseproof paper, and I just dabbed that over it, and then it took some of it off, and then I was able to get back to drying it. So there's a little one. Okay, so now it's bubble wrap with black paint. So I've got my black paint. This is just a El Cheapo from Cheapest Chips here in South Australia. And all I'm going to do, how far down are you, is paint on the bubble wrap. This is still a little bit tacky on the other. I'm just going to paint it don't want it real dark, but you've still got to have the black on there, so. Okay, so we'll just pop a few little spots. This colour scheme, my son used at Barrack for West Adelaide here in South Australia, and they were black and red, and everything as he was growing up, well, Peter and we all barracked for Westies, but everything that Simon had was black and red. He'd get a new jumper and it'd have to be red or black, or he just loved it. Always in tracksuits with red and black. And a little bit more. This is fun. You can see on this other side of this, it's still, the white's still a little bit tacky, but I thought, that's all right. I'm liking it. I think the more you do this sort of thing, the more confidence you get in doing it. Now that's going to have to go in there. I think I've got enough bubble wrap to part with that one. Okay, so I think we'll let you, I'll turn off while I dry this one now. Okay, so that's all dried, and I just dabbed it onto this there was a couple of spots that weren't dry, and now it's okay, all okay. Now for the next one, it's blue lines, and what I've got is a brush. It's a liner, and it's been around forever and a day, but we'll see. I've got some denim, and I thought of putting washi tape on there, and then I thought, oh no, we'll stick with the paint and see what happens. Let's see if this is all right. It looks a bit thick. Let me put a bit more water in it and see if that doesn't work. We'll have to go with, see if I've got some blue washi tape perhaps, or get another paint. I'm sure I've got something here that's blue. A couple of blues there. Let's see what happens here now. Good job I decided to start using these, because they are running. They've been around for a long time, is what I'm trying to say. I've had them for ages. So but I'll try and use it up. I suppose I could. I wonder. Isn't it funny how one thing leads to another? That's lines, isn't it? No, not working. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to do, it's very textured. There'll be textured lines just across. This is called, did I say, denim blue? It's a pretty blue, but I must admit this is fun. It makes you just, and the quicker I guess you do it, the freer you feel, and just, I'm just trying to think what I would use this colour for. Might have to be a journal for one of the kids, I think. Okay, there we go, put you in there with the black. Okay. That'll do, hey. I suppose I could. You can't see what I'm doing probably. Just using a bit of that paint. On there. Save wasting. I'll waste some of it, but okay. We will turn off again and dry it. Okay, there we are. So this is quite interesting. As I was drying it, I was thinking, Mary was saying that Aunt Beck, when she was doing, I'm not sure if it was this one or another one, she had people on a live chat calling out different prompts for her, and it was just colour after colour after colour, and Mary was saying, oh, for goodness sake, get away from the colours, you know, but it really did look, it looked good. Yeah, so very interesting the way it works. Now, what I'm hoping, I've got my copper dauber, and I've been banging it while we've been out, and I'm hoping, oh yes, it's going to put little dots. Like I said, these have been, I think the last one with the grandkids to use them. When I bought them, I had to have every colour of the rainbow, and you just don't get to use them all. Things go in and out of fashion, and the girls, you know, when they come to crafting, we sort of do some, use these on some days, but not every day. But the kids love doing these when they're nice and juicy and they splat out. I think I've got them all. There'll be one. There's always one that you miss. I wonder if it will. No, it's not going to splat today. But anyway, there we go. We've got that. Certainly looking different, isn't it? So we're off to dry it again. Okay, back again. Now, scribble with a permanent marker. So I've got a gold marker here. pretty sure this is the I've got two, so I'm not sure which one's going to work on the board. We'll try. We'll see what happens. And what I'm going to do is just squiggle, and I think, oh yeah, this one's working all right. Might need to change to the other one. So I'm just scribbling. It's going to tell me what's dry and what's not, won't it? Don't like that part, so anyway, so that's just going to be straight lines across there, that way, scribble, scribble. Oh, God. Should have done those squares a little bit bigger, because they really do, it's sort of taking over, isn't it? But it is what it is. Okay, so they should dry on their own. The next one is spray. So I have, you don't want the red one, that's a red, we don't want red. And that's just put a shine over it. And that's yellow. That might tone the red down, mightn't it? And that's blue. We don't want blue, I don't think. Yeah, they might not even work. I should have checked that out before I started, shouldn't I? Well, that one he is, so we're going with the lemongrass. It's certainly changing things around a bit, isn't it? Okay, we've done that. Let's see what it looks like when I dry it. Okay, so it's all dried off, and now we're back down to black circles and our focal points. So for black circles, I've got a little bottle and I've put a bit of acrylic paint in there and watered it down, and I'm just going to see if I can draw around the circles without I won't do every one. I'll just do a couple. I think I've watered it down too much. That's all right. Just to add a bit of interest, hey? As if we need any more interest in it, hey? I think we've got just enough interest in it to make it not look like a dog's breakfast. Well, that's worked out well. Might do that with a few more colours. So these are little bottles I got on eBay for, I think it was, you get like 10 for $6 or something like that. Okay, so you know what's happening now. I shall be back. Okay, so I'm back. It's all dried and I've had photos out of the book that I first said about doing. I've taken the masking tape off, which it was an old masking tape and it's ripped a bit, but that's all right. I put these on and wasn't happy. I tried different colours, the greens, different reds, different yellows, and it just didn't do it for me, didn't grab me. So then I've looked through some different books, and to me it feels more oriental, and I found this Japanese, it's a floral arrangement out of the, where are we? Reader's Digest Complete Book of Gardening. And I sort of put that down on there, and I thought, it's okay. These are Tim Holtz little pieces, and I quite like those. They go with the colour in the back there. So they're a possibility of, you know, putting a couple of those on and perhaps a couple of labels or things to make into a to make them into tags. Then I found the bonsai trees, and I quite liked the look of those. So I thought I would just quick click, and I was going to do them and bring you back, and I thought, oh, we'll have a chat, and you know, because I've been on and off and on and off. So I thought, well, let's see, and if I cut these out, then I can work out how big to cut the tags. Goodness knows where I'm going to use them, because I don't do Oriental. Having said that, I've got some papers there that I was supposed to make my son a mini album for all his photos when he went to Thailand, and I still haven't got around to it for him. And that's many moons ago. Anyway, that's another story. So we'll just see how, and I'll just roughly chop around those leaves just to give a bit of, as you know, move the paper. We'll just chop around there. So I thought these just might be something a little bit different. And I don't know really, but I'm going to have to do something, aren't I? Or you could be here all night with me. So what does a focal point, what defines a focal point, I guess? We're sort of, you know, is it a picture? Is it, you know, something else that we put on the page? You know, I haven't had time to stop and think about that, really. You know, does it have to be a picture, or can the focal point be, I don't know, just the tag itself being, you know, matting it on something, and it being the focal point, if that makes sense. And we could try that too. So what I might do, I don't like that one. Don't like that one. I do like a couple of those. So I'm going to chop. I'm going to chop. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Okay. And tags, let's see, that's probably the widest one. Pop you there. So I guess this is a different way of, instead of just having your papers sitting in your book, you can actually utilize them into your journals. Like that. So we'll put that one there. It could be a little journaling card. And what's this one? How big? We might do this one up this way. And this one I might just leave as a tag, just like that. Okay. Anyway, those two and a tag. Now let's see what we're going to do with this one. You could actually use this as a page in your album as well, so that could be the whole focal point of the album. How about that? That might be getting out of it easy. And that is, how big is it? I've actually kept the back clean because I stenciled it down. So that is 11, 10 and a half actually, just under 11 by, if we made that 8, which I usually do my pages about 8 high, I think. And then this little piece can be a belly band. And there you could have a journaling page. And I could just make this into, and that's, you know, it might happen yet, as a, that could be the cover. And there's your focal point, the cover of the journal. It's still not quite dry by the look of my hands. I really like it now that I've chopped it up. And then on the inside, you know, that could be a tuck. It could be a belly band. And if I put other papers in there with it. And then these I definitely will pop onto. What did we have? really nice navy cardstock. And that would make it pop, wouldn't it? Beautifully. Here's my little corner punch. This could end up being a bit long, a lot longer, but anyway, we're playing now. Oops, that one didn't go quite in far enough, or did it? Oh, yeah, it did. And not forgetting, I've got the little bits here that I did. So, you know, there's a bit ready to go towards just doing a little single signature journal or a little folder as a gift for somebody. Perhaps I could turn it into a gift for whoever wins the challenge. Not that you would really want my artwork, hey Praps, but you know, I could inflict you with it. Ooh, I do. I like it just as the page. And this is very much getting out of my comfort zone with this sort of colouring, because I'm not normally, I like to have my earthy tones, not bright colours. So it does us good, doesn't it, to you know, get out and use something entirely different to what we would normally use. Now, is that the one I had? Yep. Like that. Do we use a Tracy label or a Roxy label? Or let's have a look up here. There's some different darker colour ones here too. It's not really. What do I use? No. Or do I just leave it like that? Or do I just and I did before I started. Now I'm starting to get a bit anxious. Oh, Jeanette. Here's the first one. Do I just put that there? Something keeps drawing me back to that, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to put it there. I don't know what it is, but something is drawing me to it. Now, where did I put that? I've got one here. That'll do. It's only a piece of paper, isn't it? Evidently. That's going up there. And the little old tree is going down. I won't bore you with too many. There's a little journaling card. Put some papers on the back too, but I just like the navy around the edge of that. Yeah, these are just, I think this is a Stampin' Up stamp, and these are ones that I got out of a magazine, Selections or something it was called. Was it Selections? Collections, I'm not sure, but it was from a magazine. Okay, so there's our journaling card. There's our belly band. Here's a little tag that we might just pop onto, and it will fit onto that one. So let's just, if I snip a tiny weeny bit off. That will go on there. Yep. So in actual fact, I guess my the focal image, and I did notice that Mary wrote hold next to some of her prompts, so that when she actually pops them into her onto her project that she's going to be using them for, she can then decide on what she pops onto them. So perhaps that's, we hold on the image for this part of it. So that might be the way to go, hey? We go there. I'll make it into a tag. We will top it and then we will finish. So I hope you've enjoyed this little play. It's a little bit different than it has been. So please let me know if you would like to do more like this, or if you want to go back to the other way. Or if you don't like either and you want something else. I won't be upset if you let me know what you would like. Only too pleased to try and sort something out. So this is, at the moment, we're holding the image on there, the focal point for the tags, and this one I do, the more I look at it, the more I'm liking it. I keep going back to wanting to put something, a little Tracy tag on it somewhere, even if it's perhaps one of those little, her number ones, or I don't know. So there's a little tag, and that could quite easily slot in behind like that. That could go in there like that. You put your piece down each side of it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And little pucket, tuck it, pucket, tuck it. You know what I mean, pocket. And then we've got one here that we're still to mount up. But yeah, love it. I didn't know that, I didn't think I would, as it was starting to, I was starting to do it, I thought, oh my God, what is this going to look like, a dog's dinner? But I'm pleasantly surprised and pleasantly pleased with how it's turned out. So, oh my God, we're nearly an hour. That's going to take forever tonight. Looks like we'll be watching normal telly and not Netflix tonight. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me on Paper Possibilities Crazy Crafters Multimedia Challenge. Hope you join in. Show us what you've done on the Facebook page. Until we see you again, happy crafting, and bye for now.